Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as RetroLemon, and this is episode 80-something. I'm thinking 84. I don't know. I'll put it at the top like usual, and that'll be correct. I'm recording much later in the day, so I apologize if the lighting totally stinks. It is Fair Week where I live, and I was at the fair all day. So I went with my mother-in-law and sister-in-laws, and we had a really great time, and I ate a big corn dog, and I had curly fries with cheese, and yes, I had a funnel cake. I didn't eat the whole thing, I shared, but I did, and it was delicious, and it was so good, and I have a little bit of a bellyache now. But luckily we had a beautiful day. It was only supposed to be in the lower 70s, and it ended up being like 76, so it got pretty warm. So nice fallish end of summer day. Can't wait because fall begins Sunday. Today's Wednesday, so a few more days. Whew. Okay, real quick mention knit-alongs. Today is the 18th, so you have what? Less than 2 weeks to get your things done. 12 days, I think. 12 days from today to get your Marios done, which it is an unofficial kind. Well, it's officially a knit-along, but it's a just for fun knit-along. So if you don't get them done, it's totally cool. You can still post later, but I totally would love to see everybody's Marios done. September 30th, gotta get them in. Can't wait. A little fluffy too. And then all of September and into October, we are having an interlock knit-along, which is part of the technique series we've been doing throughout the year. So there's still plenty of time for that. You know, a little less than 2 weeks left of September, and then all of October. And then a very generous viewer is donating a pattern up to $7 of the winner's choice. So super awesome. Something to look forward to, so get those done. I think there's one entry. It was a dishcloth. Super cute. And that's the way to do it. You just want to try it, do a dishcloth, do a square, you know, or you can do something big. Challenge yourself. I think I'm kind of on the fence. I'm like, do we do one last technique for November and December? I was thinking color work, because that's the one technique I can do it, but I really have to concentrate and focus, and I can't say I really enjoy it a whole heck of a lot. So I'm curious what you think. Like, if you really have an opinion, like, yeah, we should do one last technique for the year, and I don't know what next year holds for knit-alongs. We might just do stuff for fun, different things, not really follow a regiment with the techniques. And so I'm just curious, or should we just, you know, kind of do a free-for-all kind of thing, any kind of project? Like I said, just for fun. Like I said, I really have had a lot of fun doing the techniques, and I've done every technique we've done, as, you know, with the viewers, you the viewers. I don't always get my projects done, like some of you, just run out of time, but I always am like, it's a nice refresher. So, those are the knit-alongs. Then I'm really excited. If you didn't see yesterday on Ravelry, Plurk, or Instagram, or Pinterest, because I did pin it as well, I put a new pattern out, and I'm super excited for this because I had a lot of fun. So the pattern is called Adopt a Blob Monster, and it's actually Adopt a Blob Monster / Ghost, and you'll see why. So I had so much fun making these. So here's one. Look at, and they're like little like blobs with arms, because they gotta have arms. And I had a lot of fun because I made each one different. So you could see size difference, because the yarn makes a difference, the needle size makes a difference, and I wanted them all to have their own personality. So I have to say, first off, before I really get into it, Highland Handmaids, Fiber Addiction, and Dancing Dog Dye Works were all very generous yarn supporters for this, and I really want to thank them. So Heather and Emily and Michelle, I really, really appreciate the yarn support, because I wanted each one to have their own personality. So this one I thought was cool. He ended up being the biggest one. This is made out of Highland Handmaid's white ash worsted, and it's a single ply, and it's really fun. It's been a while since I've knit with a single ply, and it has like, you know, like a fuzziness to it, because it's not such, you know, it's not so many plies together. And the name of this colorway is called Terracotta Pot, but I know Heather watches, and I'm like, no, it needs to be called Woolly Bear. Because that's what it reminded me of when I knit his like little arms. It reminded me of woolly bears. Now the funniest thing about this sample, and my VKN girls had seen this, so it's striped perfectly. It alternated like an orange and the deep brownish color perfectly. Now the stripes did overlap a little in the back, and it's funny because look at this. This is the back side. And you see that stripe? We joke that he has a hairy back. He's the hairy back blob monster. So, really fun. And I wanted each one to have their own personality. And then this is Fiber Addiction on the Therapy base. And the colorway was Acid Wash. And I thought, oh, you know, sometimes you see blobs with one big eye. And this one was just fun. I really liked the colors. I thought it was really fun for kind of blobby purple and green little guy. And then this is Dancing Dog Dye Works Puppy Tails. And this was, to me, was just like such a bright, happy colorway. So this one has a big old smile. And big eyes. I was like, oh, I need one with like just great big happy eyes. Such a happy little blob. And this is the Squish and Shout base. And this is a worsted. And if you've used Dancing Dog Dye Works Waltz worsted, the Squish and Shout is a bit thicker. It definitely is really great for toys. Gives it great shape. Soft. Super, super soft. Love it. This one was another Crafty Girl. I know I showed you this one before. But I had so much fun just giving each one its own personality. So this is, originally this colorway is called Coraline. It was called Coraline when I bought it. And now if you were to find it through another Crafty Girl, it's called Twitchy Witchy Girl, because she went and renamed a lot of her colorways. So it's so funny because my kids were all like, can we adopt some of the blobs? So this has been called. My son, who loves blue and yellows and oranges, is like, that one's mine. So, and then this, I'm like, oh my goodness. It's like this bright, toxic green color, and I thought it was perfect for a blob with little purple and white parts in it, and it kind of striped as well. And this is 716 Knit in the 716 Boss base, and it's a DK. So this one's also a little on the smaller side. So like in the picture for the pattern page, there's a box. And I was like, I don't know, I mean, my handwriting's not super sloppy, but I was trying not to make it look so nice and neat. Because, you know, like there's like the box, like you'll see, you know, it says free kittens. This one I wrote Adopt a Blob, and I put the small one, the shorter ones in the front and the taller ones in the back. So this one was nice in front and center because he's kind of a shorty. But this was the special Zombie Knitpocalypse colorway this year that she had. And I know the leftovers she did put in her shop. But yeah, I really love the purple in this, and it just really, I was like, oh yeah, do one with like 3 eyes. Kind of reminds you of like the little aliens from Toy Story. So there's that one. So like I said, it was called Adopt a Blob Monster / Ghost, because then it hit me. Like the original plan wasn't for it to be a ghost, but then it hit me, if I just knit an all white one, how perfect is that for Halloween? So he's all like, ooh. So yeah, perfect little Halloween decoration to sit on your mantle or your desk, or, you know, make for your kiddos or teachers. How cute would that be to give a teacher for a cute little Halloween gift? So yeah, so I'm like, oh, I have to make a ghost one too, and like tell people, like, look, it makes a really cute ghost. So go out on Ravelry, favorite it, cue it, buy it. And I'm thinking, maybe what I'm going to do, okay, I'm not going to say maybe, we're going to do this. So for October, we are going to have a Blob, Adopt a Blob knit-along. And I'm going to offer up, I'm going to say at least two people that win, and random number generator, will get November's pattern free. So, because I am putting out a pattern in November. So we're going to do a lot, and I want you to get creative with your blobs. I want creative faces, I want crazy yarns, and if you decide just to do some ghosts in some white, that works too. No blob excluded. But I'm like, I had so much fun just switching it up, making it different, and I think you will too. So, unexpected knit-along, there you go. And then I finished all these this week. Now, they had all been knit up, and they had eyes on them. A few needed arms, and I did the mouths. Like, I've been playing, it's kind of like Mr. Potato Head, right? Where I'm moving around mouths and cutting out all different shapes. And I'm like, okay, I gotta go with it. I gotta dedicate mouths to these and glue them on. And so, got all my blobs done. 6 samples. Awesome. Proud of myself. So, finished objects. So, I have a couple finished objects you don't get to see because they are at the fair. So, you'll get to see them next week. So, one project that I did, because over the weekend, I was horribly sick. I got this horrible, I think it was a combination of, a head cold and allergies, all in one. It kicked my butt for a couple days. I think Monday I slept, Sunday night into Monday, I slept 12 hours. I got my kids to school, came home, went right back in bed. So over the weekend, I just wanted something really simple to knit on, because I wasn't feeling real good, and something quick, because I kind of needed a palette cleanser. So I knit the Downton Cowl. This was gifted to me for my birthday from Dawn Knit & Woof of the Wolf Farms podcast. And so I went and I knitted out of one of my hand-spun loops. So it was a loop bullseye bump in the pumpkin patch colorway. I was going to have a little ball of yarn in here. And it went from navy blue to hot pink, bright fluorescent pink, to a green, a grass green. And I knit the whole thing, and it was too long. And I'll put it on and show you, because the other one, it stood up and it was covering half my face, and I'm just that's not going to work for me. So I did not get in as many pattern repeats as the pattern called for, because it calls for a DK weight, and this is definitely a worsted weight cowl. And the pattern calls for Madeline-Tosh vintage, which is much more drapey. This is definitely a more structured yarn, but I think it's super cute. But like I said, the other one, when I put it on, it was up here, and it was so tall in the back too that I ripped it out. I ripped it back to the navy, and I really like this colors. You know, it's a deep raspberry olive, kind of a pistachio green, and a navy. So that is the only other finished object I have, besides my samples, that I can show you today. And then you might be wondering, hey, what was that around your neck, right? It was a Miss Winkle. Now, I didn't knit this. There's no way I'm knitting a Miss Winkle in a week. So I had been thinking about making one, and now I don't have to. So my dear friend Annette sent me this. I went and I opened up the mail the other day, and I was like, OMG, because I didn't know she was sending it. So I believe it's made out of an Into the World colorway. And it kind of reminds me of Vegetable Medley, but she told me once what it was, and I don't remember. But it's so gorgeous. It's rusty oranges and brick reds and olivey greens, and there's some purple in there, and she's like, oh, I kept thinking this was for you, these were your colors, but it has purple in it. I hope you can look past it. And I'm like, it so works. It screams fall. It screams kind of like vegetable patch type stuff. And I just love it. I wore it all day today because I'm just so thankful. So I love getting hand knits. Nothing excites me more than handmade items in general. I mean, not just hand knits. I've gotten, you know, all kinds of stuff, and I'm so touched that somebody put so much time and effort into something and feels that I'm worthy of receiving such a wonderful gift. So thank you, Annette. I wish I could totally squish your face and give you a great big hug, and I cannot wait to see you next summer. Because Annette was at the retreat with me, so I got to spend time with her, and I can't wait to spend more time with her again, and just thank you so much. I was totally sick that day, and to go out to the mailbox and get it totally made me feel a little better. Okay, so works in progress. You're going to get totally sick of seeing this stuff. Same old stuff. So, okay. Desert Vista Dye Works yarn in the Carrot Cake colorway. And I think the name for the striping sock yarn is like Viso, V-I-S-O, I think. And I so love this yarn. And I love the colorway. And it's such a nice yarn to knit with. And it's so cozy feeling. I just really, really have enjoyed knitting these. And I'm now to where I have to do my toe decreases. So I did decide to go with an Afterthought heel. So you can see my bright aqua yarn where my heel will go. So I'm almost sad that these are done because I enjoyed them so much. But I get to wear them. So perfect now that it's starting to turn fallish. And then this is the other one. I'm almost just as far. I have maybe 6 or 7 more rows to go until I get to I'm actually in the middle of a row. Until I get to the toe decreases. So you can see my Afterthought yarn there that I will take out. So close to being done. Hopefully these will be a finished object next week. Fingers crossed. And then lastly, but certainly not least, since I am participating, well, I'm knitting along with the knit along. I'm not participating in the knit along because I'm not entering to win a prize. But I am doing the techniques with you guys. So I got one more row done on my autumn shawl. So all of these squares here I have done. So yay. Super, super cute. I keep telling myself, okay, it's top-down triangular, so the rows are going to get shorter, like significantly at some point, and I'll be able to do more than one row in a week. I mean, if it's all I worked on, I could get a lot more done, but I have a hard time being monogamous to this project. So, I usually work on this in the evenings, just chilling, watching some TV. My socks are my travel project, because that fits in my purse. So yeah, that's it. It for FOs. I'm like, oh, I still can't wait to start something new. But I'm like, no, I gotta finish the socks first. I mean, I did do this, so that was something new and something unexpected. And I have not blocked it yet. I think I'm going to block it just so you can see the chevrons a little better. But, oh, I'm like, I love knitting with my loop. I'm like, I really need to knit more with my hand spun yarn. Whew. So I have one thing of yarny goodness to show you. So I got a Miss Babs. Yowza, what a skein. Yowza. Yeah, it really, I got this out of the mailbox and I'm like, holy crap, what is that? And then I looked at the return address and I'm like, oh my god, it's Miss Babs. Because it's the first skein of Miss Babs I have ever owned. I've totally been missing out, people. I mean, I keep hearing how wonderful Miss Babs is. And I finally get to find out for myself. So it is a Babette. So when things are marked on her website as a Babette, it means that the skeins are not going to work well together. So the colorway is called Zombie Games. So I don't know how the camera's going to pick this up, because when I tried taking pictures of it, my camera totally just did not do it justice. So there's these really, really bright like electric blues and these kind of deep oceany looking blues. And then there's like, this is like Merlot here. I don't know how it's coming up. Sometimes it looks brown, and sometimes my camera would take a picture, no flash or anything, in natural light, and it would look red. It's not red. It's a beautiful deep Merlot, kind of a wine-ish burgundy, pea greens, lots of that bright oceany blue, just like I said, like a pea soupy green. It's so, yeah, because this pea soupy green, like right here and stuff, my camera was reading as yellow. Like, in the pictures that my camera took, I would have been like, that is the ugliest scanning yarn ever. But it's so ridiculously beautiful and so vibrant. But yet, you know, sometimes some areas are a little muddled, and it's just gorgeous. It's everything I could have wanted it to be. And it's super soft. Like, you feel it and you're like, oh my goodness. Like, I seriously someday want a sweater made out of this. Oh yeah. Thank you, Miss Babs. Super fast shipping too. So, everything about it is amazing, and I am using this for a brickless. So, I kind of was on the fence about it. I don't know why I didn't realize it was a light worsted weight shawl. So, because it says light worsted. It's hand painted, superwash. And you need one of these, and it's like a double skein. It's, in case you don't know, approximately 560 yards of a light worsted weight. So I didn't realize the brickless at first was a worsted weight shawl. I love worsted weight shawls. Some of my favorite shawls that I've ever made are worsted weight ones, because it gets cold here and they keep you so warm and snuggly. So I don't know when I'm going to get to making my brickless. Probably not anytime soon, but I'm so excited. I got the colorway I wanted, and I will get to make one. Now I just got to buy the pattern. Then I did do some spinning. It's on the wheel. It's nothing wow worthy. I'm spinning up some just dark brown alpaca fiber. That's it. So it's just brown. I were to show you the spindle or the bobbin, it would just be brown. So nothing real spectacular, but it spins so smooth. And you got to be careful, because it's like a fine art, because if you don't go fast enough, you don't get enough twist, and the fiber will break. You get it going too fast, and the fiber breaks because it slips so fast. It's really slick. So it's been kind of hard finding that happy medium speed to get your treadles going and everything, to spin it nice. But it's so soft, and it wants to spin so super thin. So we'll see how that goes. But otherwise, very nice. Very, very excited about that. So, that's it for the knitting. So if you leave me now, I'll see you next week. But if you're sticking around, we're moving into a slice of life. Like I said, I was horribly sick. I mean, like, for 3 days, I felt like I couldn't get out of bed. It just hit me like a ton of bricks. So, it seems to be something going around. I've seen a lot of people post on Plurk and stuff that they've gotten sick. And all I can say is lots of fluids and lots of sleep. And use your neti pot. Clear out that sinuses, get all that gunk. It's kind of intimidating if you've never used a neti pot and use it at first, but it's so worth it. Totally awesome. Kind of gross, but awesome. I didn't exercise at all this last week, so when I got on the scale yesterday, I was a little leery. But I lost 0.4, which I probably gained all back plus some today. But I figure the fair only comes once a year, and it'll probably be the only day I go. So, I just enjoyed myself. And it was so much fun, and I did a ton of walking, and like I said, I went with my mother-in-law and sister-in-laws, and we had such a great time. Like, we really genuinely just had a great time going through all the buildings, and we looked at some of the animals. They had a lot of events going on today, so a lot of the animals weren't in their stalls. And obviously lots of food, you know, everybody walked around, got what they wanted, and so good time. Not a whole lot going on. You know, luckily I'm feeling better. I started feeling a little better yesterday, a little more better today. Hopefully by the end of the week I will be back to normal. So yeah. So that's it. Not a whole lot going on. So, like I said, don't forget, 12 more days for the Mario the Artistic Rabbit knit-along. And then we are going to do a knit-along for the Blobs. So excited about that. So, go get you a Blob. Adopt a Blob. So, okay, I am Jenna, also known as RetroLemon. I'm on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest. I don't really tweet. I always feel so bad when people, like, follow me on Twitter. I don't tweet. Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Weight Watchers, Fitbit, all that good stuff. So, until next week. I'll see you then. Bye.